everyone, and welcome to the GuildMag Podcast, full of technical difficulties. But we're finally here, and we're ready to talk about Heart of Thorns with all of you. As you can see from our shot here, Rowan's internet is completely not working well today.
It's progressively gotten worse over the course of the last hour.
And so we've decided that we're just going to use Lord Farron because it's just that's the perfect expression to try and deal with this today. Joining us today is Tauz, who's our senior editor. Tauz, would you like to introduce yourself to our lovely viewers?
Yeah, so my name's Joe, senior editor at GuildMag. I do quite a lot. Edit loads of stuff, pretty much. Don't know. Yeah.
Yes, he does. He edits for us, and he does a lovely job for us.
He's very humble.
And he's very humble about it.
Very humble. Yeah.
So, we've got a load of things to talk about today. I've been waiting for 5 weeks for this. I know we have been too as well. So today we've got loads of stuff to talk about with you guys today. I'm managing all sorts of things today. But Heart of Thorns is here, and you guys have been playing, I assume?
Of course.
Of course.
Been playing all weekend.
Oh.
Yep.
So I think I'm well versed in what's been going on.
That's good to know.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I've gotten to play some. I had to work though part of the weekend, so it was a bit. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. So to start off today, we're gonna just kick off with some gem store news. There's loads of things that are in the gem store. A lot of it is Halloween related, but a lot of it is also still Heart of Thorns hype train. We've got some butterfly wings that are in. They're very pink and yellow butterflies. 500 gems for that. And then they dropped in a whole bunch of things that are related to the Heart of Thorns release. They've got the Harbinger of Morgemoth outfit, an improvised weapon set which costs a 1 black line ticket, Crystal Arbiter appearance pack. Have either of you guys seen that? The appearance pack?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people with the Crystal Arbiter stuff in game.
It's on sale
the armor
for
it.
Yeah, it's on sale for
it's
2,000 gems. So that's why I was like,
yeah, it's
quite.
You've got to really love the whole appearance pack if you're looking for that.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of money to sink into. They've got immortal weapon skin choices as well. I haven't seen these at all in game. Like, I haven't seen anyone using them.
I don't think
I have. Yes, the immortal weapons. Some of them look alright actually. I'm trying to think of a way to describe them, but they're a bit like I can't remember the name of the other set now. It's gone.
It's gone. Does it look like packed?
Yeah.
Packed?
No. Oh, it's gonna bug me for ages. I can't remember. They're a bit like another set, but more.
Okay.
So they kind of, to me, look a little bit like Ascended weapons.
Okay.
With like the color scheme of them, tinges of like. They don't even have a specific color. It's like white and a bit of purpley hue with blue and orange in there.
Oh.
They look alright. I mean,
Yeah.
they look okay. I don't think they've got any special particle effects or anything. But yeah, I haven't seen them in game, so I've only seen them on Dolphy.
Okay. Yeah, so that appearance pack has got a lot of different things in there. With that, they've got dye in there and dyes and I don't know, just a whole bunch of stuff. So if you want to spend 2,000 gems for cosmetic stuff that might look pretty and you'll look good killing Mordrum there you go. They've also got a character jumpstart set on sale for 3,500 gems, and this was actually somewhat more useful because it's got bank expander packs or slot expansions. Sorry, tripping over my tongue. They've got gathering tools in there, salvaging tools, experience boosters, which do help with leveling in the jungle.
Yes, if you haven't been using XP boosters while doing your masteries, I highly recommend it.
I keep forgetting to grab some out of my bank, so I need to do that. And they've also got transmutation charges in there because everybody wants to look lovely in the jungle.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's all in the gem store. And they've got... So the Batwings glider is, well, obviously Halloweeny.
Yeah, they do look quite cool.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you get that?
Yeah, I mysteriously received the Backwing glider and Backwing backpack.
Was that the item?
Yeah. So did you equip it on someone yet?
No, I'm scared to take it out my mail because I'm pretty sure I'm not meant to have it. Like I got a mail from customer support saying, "Here's your replacement items," and I'm like, "But I haven't requested any replacement items."
Yeah.
So I'm a bit scared to equip them in case I'm not meant to have them.
Yeah.
Sneak at me.
Oh, I don't know.
Twisted says you can only get the Immortal set through the Crystal Arbiter pack. I think that's right. I don't think you can get them through Black Lion Weapon Specialist.
Which is interesting that they've decided to bundle it that way. Kind of makes it a bit more exclusive in a way. I don't know.
I mean, it's on the other hand, it's like if you just want the weapon, you have to pay 2k gems.
Exactly.
And you get a load of other stuff that you don't really want.
Yeah. I kind of wish they'd just bring it out, you know, release it separately, but I doubt that they will because maybe people will be upset. I don't know. But you know what I was happy about? You know those black wings and the white angel wings that Joe and I got?
Oh, that was
the one that you don't like at all. So if you go and talk to the any of the scouts in Verdant Brink, you can, and while you're wearing the backpack, you can actually get that skinned to be your glider wings. I was really excited about that.
Because we need more of those wings around.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So I've totally done that with one of them.
I haven't done it yet, but...
You're going to, aren't you?
I don't know, like, I like the glider. I think it's cool.
The glider is pretty cool, the one that you got for purchasing Heart of Thorns.
Yeah, the Heart of Thorns skin on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I might get it. Because I've seen people with, just flying around with the wings, and it does look pretty awesome, but...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It would look good.
It's just like one step less than being Aeon. We're reaching the point now where we might as well just be an Aeon.
But
it looks nice, so you know why.
Everyone likes wings.
Everyone likes wings.
Yeah.
You've been using. Have you been using the glowy green ones, the Heart of Thorn ones?
Yeah, I've been using Heart of Thorns glider.
Yeah, they're actually quite cool. I like those. I like that they glow green and you can. They've got the little trails, so you can kind of track people as they're gliding across the sky in front of you. I love those wings, so hey, whatever. They're just gonna keep coming out with more things for us to skin onto those gliders. But at least they don't cost transmutation charges to change them out.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, and they've got their own tab, which I actually had to be told about because I didn't see it right away. I was looking for it in the wardrobe.
You're very observant.
Oh, shush. I was looking for it in the wardrobe, but whatever. Anyways. So we've got some community news as well. Vesberg, who is a freelance graphic artist, he does a lot of concept art in the style of Guild Wars 2. If you haven't seen this, and if you've played Guild Wars 1, you actually, he's styled it. Why can't I get this link to copy today? Rowan, can you help me on that end?
Sorted it.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you. It's actually really cool because it basically is motioned concept art from different places around Cantha. So if you played Factions, it's a nice little nostalgia piece, Call of Cantha, and Vesberg's really great. He's done some art for us in the past, so we just wanted to, give him a little shout out, give him some love, because it is just a really spectacular project.
He is very good
Yeah, no,
artist.
he's been working on it for a long time, and it really is cool. Even if you never played Cantho Guild Wars Factions, I would definitely recommend just spending, you know, like 10-15 minutes looking at all the different panoramas on it, because there are some really cool little Easter eggs on it that he was showing off to me, which I won't reveal. Go and look for them yourself. And he's not done yet either.
No.
There's still areas he wants to add to it, and still things he wants to do with it, so it's only going to get better.
Yep, and he's got a section in there where you can download some of the art that he's done if you want to like use it as wallpapers for your computer, which they are really beautiful. So there you go. Go and support another community member.
Yeah, talented community member.
Talented community member, always.
Very talented.
And in other news, ArenaNet had a launch party because it wasn't enough that they were hyping Heart of Thorns until 11:59 when before the expansion went live. They had a community party to kind of hype us some more. So that started quite early. It started about 5 hours before launch happened, and they reviewed a lot of things that they had shown off at TwitchCon, like the guild hall stuff. They showed some more of those guild ads, promoting the different guilds that are recruiting. And they also showcased a video by Wooden Potatoes to kind of catch everyone up, giving everyone a summary of everything that we'd learned about Heart of Thorns before the expansion. And one of the things that Mike O'Brien, I always say O'Brien.
I say O'Brien.
Yeah, I say O'Brien. He mentioned that across the 3 years, they've had 7 million people who've purchased or played in Guild Wars 2. So that was a new figure that he threw out there for everyone. And then the game launched. So it did, and we've been playing. Some of the things that you may have been noticing in the game. This is a couple of quality of life things. If you have summoned AI, they should no longer be dying after taking high damage. That was a quality of life change that came in with Heart of Thorns. They mentioned also that they are trying to decrease the amount of skill effects that you see, so that you can actually see what's happening in the telegraphs that some of the enemies will put out. I don't know. I haven't noticed a difference with the skill effects culling. Have either of you?
I haven't
Not particularly. I don't particularly think there's that much of a problem, really.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had much of a problem with it, but
because I found myself in Heart of Thorns actually concentrating more on the enemies, on the Mordrim and what they're doing, because they are more varied than we're used to. Because you have the Mordrim snipers, you have the Punishers, the bloody little pocket raptors that pissed me off no end.
They were the bane of your life yesterday.
Yeah, so I find myself paying more attention. So I don't know, you just kind of look past the skill effects, don't you, to what you're actually killing.
Yeah, at least that's the hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found some of it. I've run into quite a few Zergs in Verdant Brink, because that's the map that I'm still playing in. And when they start going off, and on top of that, you get a lot of the night events where you're just getting wave after wave of Mordrim coming in and attacking. It can be quite a challenge. Now, it might just be my computer, but which is always a possibility. But yeah, so sometimes I see it that it feels like there's too much that you can't really see clearly, but you just kind of try and deal with it. I don't know. Anyway, so that's on skill effects culling. And then the big thing that I'm excited about, I don't know about you guys, is that Guild Wars merchandise is finally for sale. they have partnered. ArenaNet has partnered with a company called I Am 8-Bit, and they are selling Guild Wars merch. And they've got T-shirts. Have you got that link in chat there, Rowan?
Yeah.
Rowan's just going to get that for you. And they've got a Quaggan plushie, which is really, really cute, and I want one. He's all blue.
Yeah, I do
Quaggan.
actually kind of want the Quaggan plushie. Everything else I'm not too bothered about, because I don't know about you, but I'm not a particular fan of wearing like T-shirts from video games or movies or anything like that.
I'm the same.
Like I'll have some around as like what's the word? Oh, I can't think tonight.
Nostalgia.
Just like mementos of the game and stuff, but
souvenirs.
I won't actually wear any of them unless I'm like. The only time I've ever worn my Guild Wars 2 T-shirts was like at Gamescom and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I will say though,
the plushie I am really I would like the plushie.
Yeah.
That the T-shirt that we got from Gamescom is actually really comfortable, so I'll give them that.
Is it?
We'll give them.
Well,
yeah, I actually
yeah.
wear it around the house sometimes just because it's very light, it's comfortable, but
There you go. So yeah, so we'll see what else they put in there. I think they've also got some artwork posters for sale as well, and they do ship internationally, and people in the EU can purchase from the UK shop. So I'm glad that they finally.
That's something we didn't mention when we introduced Joe.
Yes.
Hello.
That he was the cameraman behind our Gamescom interview.
He was
the guy.
Yeah.
He was the guy that came with me to Gamescom to represent GuildMag.
Yes.
Yeah. GuildMag represent.
There you go.
Yeah, you did a very
There's
good
a
job.
shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's our news on community news and game news. So I think we can. Are you guys ready? Do you have anything else that you want to share about the news? Because I'm kind of talking.
No, news is just news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah.
Let's get into the real.
Let's get into the real reason why we're here, which is Heart of Thorns, and they were until the 11th hour just hyping this up. They put out an interactive trailer the same day as launch, well, Thursday. But yeah, I don't know. What have you guys been doing in game?
So in game.
Yeah.
So I've been mostly in Verdant Brink. I haven't gone into the new maps yet because I'm trying to just do Verdant Brink and not like rush into the new map. So I've been doing the events. Joe and I were playing today on Verdant Brink, getting him up to speed with everything. And I'm really liking it actually.
Are you still playing on your Guardian?
Yeah, so I haven't started a new character yet. And I'm not playing the Dragon Hunter Elite specialization because we all know my feelings on that.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm playing through on my Guardian, and the plan is to either roll Revenant or Reaper once I've finished the story on Guardian and kind of done everything. What about you?
I went in with one of my Rangers that actually I played through all of Season 2 on. And yeah, I'm still in Verdant Brink. I think I'm like on the 3rd story step. I had to level up the Itzel mastery line first before I could get that opened up. But I'm just having a lot of fun exploring and being able to just take my time with it. Because during the beta weekends, it was like, oh my god, we've got to play right now because the beta is gonna just be over. So it was a lot like I felt like I was rushing through things. Just to get some playtime in and explore. And since we did so much streaming during the beta weekends, it was also making sure that I was helping to show off the different classes. So it wasn't like I could really just explore and get lost. And getting lost is one of the things for me in this map because it's just
big map.
It's a big map. It's very vertical, and I'm very bad at knowing where I am. And this carries over.
I feel like
I
feel like I know where everything is on Verdant Brink now, just about.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
But I'm really glad to see that they kept a lot of stuff back in the beta, because even though I've played in the betas and been playing even back to like the first stress test and all that, it's still there was still stuff I'd never seen before, even in the areas that we'd seen. And it was like, and it was great to see how, I remember having one moment where I finally saw how the two areas like linked up on between like the first beta area we were shown and then the second beta area. And I was like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even the first story instance, which I'm not going to spoil for anyone. Well, I mean, you saw part of it in the beta weekends, but we didn't get to see everything, which was nice. That they held things back to kind of give us that surprise, factor. Yeah.
The thing that I'd say is about Heart of Thorns currently, from what I've played. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who just when it comes to like MMOs and games like this, I just jump on power level, just ignore all the story and just don't care about it. But I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna play it differently this time. So I've been paying attention to all the story, and I've been exploring the map, not rushing through it, just exploring the map and just taking in everything. And I'm actually really enjoying it. Just playing like this, just a lot more relaxed, more casual, and I think it's really good for just if you want to just take a step back and just enjoy the game. It's really good for that, I'd say.
Yeah, and I mean, you were away from Guild Wars 2 for a while. I mean, you took a bit of a break, so...
I must talk about...
And are you playing it through on your Thief?
Yes, I am playing Thief, not Daredevil, just Thief.
And how are you finding that?
Good. I mean, still Berserker, still going strong. I haven't found any difficulties with it yet, but... don't know, because they were trying to combat the whole Berserker meta, but...
Yeah.
I can't take that out on me. Can't take it away from me.
Well, how do you guys... I mean, both of you are running Berserkers out in Verdant Brink, so how do you feel that the Berserkers do out there?
Honestly, I've seen no problem. What I will say, though, is we killed the Wyvern boss earlier. We killed one of them. We had about 5 seconds left, and there was 1% left. And we killed it, and I was just thinking, if me and Rowan weren't Berserkers, we would have failed that. So,
you still need the DPS.
Yeah, we still need the damage. We still need damage. Just get good, dodge stuff, don't stand in the fire, don't be an idiot. There we go. Please.
Yeah, I feel like hopefully my internet's not going to lag out while I try and speak. I feel like if you know what each Mordrum does, like, and how to beat it, you can still really easily be a Berserker. So I don't think in the open world it's the death of the Berserker, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that I've been noticing is that people who have been trying to melee the enemies die a lot. And so I don't know if it's that they're staying in melee too long, or if they don't have a ranged option so that they can kind of swap out, or what, or if I just don't know. But I just notice a lot of melee players just dying.
Yeah, there's certain enemies you don't particularly want to melee. The legendary wyverns is one of them. The mushrooms.
Those mushrooms
I can't remember
are horrible.
which specific mushroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mushroom, one of them just does a load of AoE. You don't really want to go into melee with that. Well, I mean, for the most part, like, Joe and I have been, like, I'd say, at least like 80% melee most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time you can just get away with it.
So,
but, like,
I honestly think it depends on learning what the Mordrum do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think people are still learning just what the enemies do, and what they can get away with, and what they're just going to have to just adapt to.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the first time, I think in Guild Wars 2's history, I found myself actually thinking about the mechanics of what enemy I'm facing, which normally is something I don't really ever reserve for, like, high-level fractals, maybe the odd dungeon.
Right.
So I think it's just getting into that mindset of it is actually a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah, and I think another one of the things that I've noticed is in learning the mechanics is I'm not sure what's happening with people learning how the Defiance bar works, Have you guys noticed anyone, or have you played with any groups that have just not really figured out that the break bar, when you need to be using crowd control?
Yeah, people haven't really caught on.
Yeah, it seems like they're not really. They'll try to stack and just.
The thing is that like it's still doable. Like you can completely ignore it and still do the fight perfectly fine. I think it's just you get punished for it. But
yeah, I think
most people just
like the big thing about this is I had to explain to Joe how the break bar worked when we were doing Legendary Wyvern, right? So players like Joe who are good at the game but haven't been keeping up with Heart of Thorns or have been away from the game for however many years there's no indication in game of what the break bar does anymore, what the Defiance bar does. So it's like there's two camps. Like, it's people like me and you, Sandra, who keep up with it, do beta weekends, do all the streaming, that kind of stuff, and we know what you have to do. And then there's a whole other group of people who just have got no idea, and it's not really explained anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen this happen a lot. Well, I mean, even though the smoke scale don't have break bars, but it's another thing where the smoke scale, when they're in their smoke, are just invulnerable in a sense. All you do is miss. Your attacks just miss. And so people knowing that you need to just knock them out of their little bubble, just it's not really communicated as well. I think it's not messaged as well, and unless you've been playing it. It's another one where if people who have been playing it can just communicate in map chat and help other players out. I haven't seen that as much this time around. I don't know if it's because more people are. I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think. I just think like communication is key to helping new people, because you've got to remember a lot of people. Well, maybe not a lot, but some people in Heart of Thorns will be relatively new players who have started playing within the last couple of months, who maybe, who don't have the experience of people like us who've been playing since the game came out. So, because I definitely noticed when we were fighting the bosses, big bosses with the break bars like the Wyverns, and can't remember the name of the other boss, some of the others, but the big ones, like. Each time they'd enter a state where you had to break the Defiance bar, it would go to about the same level. So the same people who knew the mechanic would do it,
right?
But the others wouldn't learn from it. Yeah.
And and I don't see that there's much communication happening in map chat yet to, like, at least in the maps that I've been in, to help each other.
Yeah, I think...
Go on, Rowan. Go on.
I think we lost Rowan. Go on, Joe.
I'm lagging out to go.
No, I was just going to say, like, in the maps that I've been in, you always get that one or two people just, like, screaming their head off, just saying spam CC during the break bar, but then it just gets flooded out with just everyone else just saying thank you and Vespers and all the usual garbage, so... Yeah.
So being able to filter out the noise, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you been disappointed with anything that you so far with the expansion? Is it still too soon? I mean, we're only 3 days in.
I mean, there's one thing that's kind of disappointed me, but I think we're gonna come to that later.
Okay.
I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to it until we get to it.
How about you, Rowan? Have you been disappointed with anything?
He's lagging.
That's me. I'm lagging too much.
Okay, never mind.
Am I roboting out?
A little bit, yeah. I think it's just more audio lag of you're being able to hear us. So one of the things that I found surprising, or they held on. I found it surprising that they held on to the information about how many hero points you'd need to spend in order to train the elite specs. That went out. They said, I want to say it went out like Tuesday or Wednesday. That went out 400 hero points, and they said that if you'd done all of Corteria, you'd get about half of what you needed. So they changed the World vs. World Liquid XP, so that will grant you you get some drops that will unlock basically hero points out in Corteria that will then count and help you level. But I don't know. I've seen a few people quite upset about this. Like, I don't know. It's like if they were playing the betas and they got to experience that full elite specialization, I don't know. What did they think, that they were going to get it? They weren't going to have to work for it, or they're upset at how long it's going to take? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so like elite specs are one of the endgame systems. It's not like the endgame system that is essentially like masteries and raiding, all that shit, but like it's a way to like progress. It's another character progression system, and I don't mind that it's 400 hero points to unlock, because so I've got about 200 and something on my Guardian at the moment, and even if I was like really wanted to invest in Dragon Hunter, really wanted to go for it, at the end of the day, it's only 40 hero challenges. You know, it's only 40 hero point challenges, right?
In Verdant Brink, yeah, because they count for 10 now. They give you 10 points. I mean,
yeah. So it's not like you're expected to grind them all in one day or anything. It's not like there's a time limit where you have to get elite spec within a day. You know, it's something that you can work on. And honestly, for people like me who played like just a full-on elite spec in the beta, it can be overwhelming to have everything given to you in one go and not know how everything works, because you get a whole new trait line, you get a whole new weapon, you get, you know, new mechanic skills like an F5 for Mesmer, you get new utility skills. Like, if you're just given all that in one day, I think it's just, there's no way you're going to play as well as you do currently. So I kind of agree. It's just like how you level up normally in Guild Wars 2. Right. If everyone just remembers right back to their first character, you don't get handed everything off the bat. You have to work for it.
Right.
Yeah, you unlock the skills and stuff.
Yeah, it teaches you how to play your class.
And if you can unlock part of it and you can equip it still, you'll just be walking around with incomplete one specialization line, just incomplete with the traits. And whether or not you choose to do that is up to you, whether you think that will be viable for your playstyle, if that makes any kind of sense. Yeah. Like for me, I opened up Reaper on my Necromancer, but I don't have enough. I had enough to train to get like one minor adept, because she hasn't done much world exploration. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to be walking around with just, you know, a minor trait just so I can use my greatsword, you know, or use the Reaper Shroud. I kind of want a bit more before I try to walk around or start playing, especially the enemies out in more Verdant Brink and the rest of Maguma. I just don't want to walk around with an incomplete build, basically, against those kinds of enemies that are out there. Like, it would be fine in Corteria, I think. But for me, I'll wait. I'll level it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think the problem is there's elite specializations that are kind of like the big wow factors, like the Reaper. Everyone seems to be hyping over the Reaper, and they just want to just get on and just get to play that as soon as they can. But I think people are just upset really that they've got to work for it. But then you get people like Rowan as well, who just like, well, I'm not interested in Dragon Hunter. Doesn't even matter how long like it takes to get it.
Right.
And I'm the same way.
Exactly. Like for me, it's not even. Yeah, for me, it's not even going to be an issue until I've essentially finished Heart of Thorns the first time anyway.
Right. Yeah, and
I mean,
go ahead.
Cool.
I was just going to say.
I was going to say, like, there might be a middle ground where, say, 400, maybe it's too much. Maybe like 350, 300 might be a better compromise between people who, you know, don't want, because I guess 40 hero challenges in Verdant Brink, or just 40 hero challenges generally.
Yeah.
When you look at it from having like 0 to needing to do all 40.
Yeah, it's quite overwhelming.
Say if you have 0 hero points. But then on the other hand, most people won't have 0 hero points to begin with. People like me who've done Courtier, you've already got 200. So you only need to do 20.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And then you can, I mean, if you're missing all 40, right? All 400. The new maps will give you that, all 4 of them. Which, you know, you can ignore story and just go chase them, I suppose. And you'll probably be leveling your masteries along the way. So you could do it that way. I don't know. There's different ways that you can choose to level. I mean, the choice is always up to you how you want to do that. But I think I've seen people walking around with, you know, partial, because they want that experience of at least learning the specialization, which goes back to learning your class and your build that we were talking about. So I don't know. I think it's at a good point. But one of the things that that I've been seeing on Reddit is that people are a bit upset about the difficulty of some of the hero challenges, like requiring a group to complete some of them, and some requiring certain mastery levels as well. Now, I haven't experienced this yet because I'm still just in Verdant Break, and I think I've gotten 1 hero challenge out there. So I don't know if you guys have run into this problem or have seen any of this. Have you?
Yeah, we did earlier actually. Like, we were playing and there was like one piece of the map that me and Rowan hadn't discovered, so we just glided on down there, and there was just a hero challenge, and we were just like, yeah, well, might as well just start it. Like, it said like suggested for a group, so we just did it, and a champion spawned, and we were just like, okay, so we wanted to find 2 man this champion, but then luckily like someone else turned up and we managed to kill it like just fine. But that was a real shock to us. We were just like, okay, this is
yeah, all of a sudden
it's something completely new. Yeah,
group event champion spawns.
Yeah.
What?
Glided down
Yeah,
to the to activate it, and then boom, champion. So
Yeah, I just went to do like this. Surely this shouldn't be here as champion, but obviously it is.
Yeah. Like the one that I've run into
so,
is just communing, which was still normal.
Yeah.
But you had to.
I mean,
you had to go up some ruins to get to it, and then there are like meta events happening at the same time, so you've got to like fight your way through just to be able to commune. Which I don't know, it was fun. But
I mean, yeah, it brings another level to it. I mean, my question is, what happens when 6 months down the line, maybe people aren't in Verdant Brink anymore for whatever reason, and you need, like, you're just soloing, and you really need this last hero challenge, and it spawns a champion, and you can't kill it by yourself. What happens then?
You're gonna have a nightmare, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the champion we faced was relatively squishy for a champion. It hit hard, but it died quite quickly. So it wasn't like your typical champion, I'd say. It was easier, but it was still a champion.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that they scale, so...
Yeah.
Because I've seen some comments on Reddit that people saying that, you know, we were handling it fine with just 2 or 3 of us, and then a Zerg glided in, and the thing it just got all of its health back because it scaled to the larger number of players, which can be annoying, especially if they all die and you don't get your thing.
Yeah, we encountered some scale. So one of the events we were doing earlier, there were quite a lot of people nearby, and we struggled to just kill normal mobs with the scaling on it. Which was a new experience, struggling to kill normal things in the open world.
Yeah.
The thing is, some people just pass through the event, like they're not even helping, they're just there, and it makes it harder for you just by like aggroing the mobs and just running past, and then so it's not always that good. The scaling can be annoying. Yeah,
I'm not sure what the solution would be for that, Because I think if it didn't scale, people would complain. If it scales too much, if too little, there's always going to be a certain number of players who will, or on either side, that will, not be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, as easy as it is for me to say from this armchair, I think working out how to scale it better. So mobs at the moment will scale just based on the number of players, like in the event as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
If they could scale based on the number of players around themselves that are actively like engaged in fighting that particular mob, I think that would solve a lot of the issues. Because if you're taking part in the event but you're on the other side of the event,
Mm-hmm.
and there's two people trying to kill one veteran or something on the other, where away from the Zerg, you're just not going to be able to kill it because it's scaled up for the whole Zerg to kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, as easy as it is for me to say, I'll just program it differently.
Right.
Yeah. It's probably a lot more complicated than that.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can particularly think of.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's not a major issue. It's not like you can't complete the content because of scaling. It just takes longer. It just takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, you have that experience in other open world scenarios as well, where because of the scaling, things will take longer to kill. If you're focused on another area that the Zerg is not. But we deal with it, and I'm sure the devs just will keep making adjustments as they can, as they see the input from the data. But,
Yeah, I mean, over Guild Wars 2's lifetime, scaling has definitely gotten better. I mean, I remember when it used to be not that great at all, and now it's not bad by any stretch. It's just it can get frustrating now and again when you are in a really big Zerg and you just want to be able to kill a mob by yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's another instance where communicating, if you can, with the players around you helps. I think. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But overall, I think we're having fun, and that's the thing. I'm just happy that we're able to do new things again, and that we're all learning. It feels good to just not just play new content, but that it's actually challenging this time around. Now, if to compare it with like when we first started Guild Wars 2, I know I
Centaur days.
Yeah.
In the human lands.
Mm-hmm.
Doing those Centaur event change. It's a million times better than that. Heart of Thorns.
Yeah, but I mean, now the two of you played MMOs or other MMOs before Guild Wars 2, but I came straight over from Guild Wars 1, so I found Guild Wars 2 rather chaotic, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know how your previous experience compared to when you started Guild Wars 2 and then what this is like.
I think, it's hard to compare because Guild Wars 2 is such a different MMO. Like, even if you played other MMOs, you didn't really play one like Guild Wars 2 before you played it, because it tried to be so different.
Right.
I mean, like, my initial impressions are I think I'm enjoying Heart of Thorns more than I enjoyed the original game. I can't particularly remember that far back. I mean, I know I was playing the original game with Joe like at the same time, so we're kind of repeating what we did like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think I'm enjoying Guild Wars 2. I'm definitely enjoying Heart of Thorns more than I'd say I've enjoyed Guild Wars 2 in the past 2 years. That I can say definitely. And even right now, I'm like contemplating: do I log on after this show and carry playing, or do I actually do stuff I need to do tonight?
Right.
Yeah. I haven't felt that way about Guild Wars 2 in quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just thinking about that one article that you wrote over the summer, right before the Final Fantasy XIV expansion came out, where you were talking about how what you were hoping to get from both games. Now, I know that I don't think you're playing Final Fantasy XIV anymore, right? Heaven's Ward, after Heaven's Ward.
No, neither of us are.
Yeah.
I went
So what happened there, and do you think that Heart of Thorns has enough, I know we're only 3 days in, but do you think it's got enough that it will hold you, where Heaven's Ward obviously didn't?
I mean, For now, yeah, because I feel like I've got a big list of things to do in Heart of Thorns. Like, I've still got to finish my original legendary weapon. That's still carried over from the base game. But I've also got to do legendary armor from raiding, legendary backpack. Got to do all my masteries. You know, I've got to play with the elite specializations. The thing about Heaven's Ward was once you've done the story and everything, and you've reached a new level cap, got all your new skills. If you're not raiding, what are you doing in Heaven's Ward? Like, that's why I left, because I didn't have a raid group anymore. So it was like, well, expansion now. Guild Wars 2, I mean, for now, there's still loads to do. I mean, when raiding gets released, I'm sure I'll have accomplished most of my goals by then. So it could be the case that
You hope.
my life will just revert back to raiding.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to go too much into Final Fantasy because different game and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was raid leading, and I wasn't like a raid leader or anything, but I was like, I didn't mean to blow my trumpet, but I was easily the best player in my group.
Mm.
And the thing is, like, that game, it was 8-player groups for like all content, like all the hardest raids, and if you had one person not pulling the weight, you just could not do it. It was just impossible. So I mean, you have to spend ages looking for people that are good enough, and again, like, if you've got good relationships, you don't want to kick out the people who you've had like good experiences and bonds with.
Right.
So you just get on with it, but it just got too much for me. The raiding just wasn't very fun. I didn't like the raid that got released really, so I just quit. And yeah, but in Heart of Thorns, the thing is, like, yeah, currently I have a lot of things to do. Like, got to complete the story, got to get full ascended armor, and hopefully get a legendary sometime. But I mean, I gave all my materials to YouTube. Like,
I know.
when I quit,
I was
so
just gonna say, I was like, oh.
kind of shot myself in the foot for this. But the big thing is like raiding for me, because I've just always been a raider. Every MMO love raiding, and
yeah,
that's
just
the one thing that's gonna keep me. So.
Go on then.
Yeah, raiding is just the typical MMO endgame.
Yeah.
And I just really hope that Heart of Thorns does it well enough to warrant like people like Joe staying.
Yeah.
Because I'm under no illusions that if raiding isn't what he wants it to be, Joe just will not be like sticking around like a month or 2 months from now.
Yeah.
I'm under no illusions from that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, well, like, I mean, from like my experience in MMOs, the typically like two things in game are just PvE, PvP. So then you've got like the structured PvP in Guild Wars, then you got World v World, and apart from that, like, I didn't really find there was much to do end game. Like, everyone's gonna be arguing, saying like, oh, but there's loads to do. You could go and farm legendaries and whatever. But I like at the stage when I quit the game, it was just you either go on the champion train, you do your daily quest, or you do nothing. It was that boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, good PvP is always a good thing to keep people playing as well.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
it's Guild Wars PvP is so different. It's either you like it or you don't, I think, compared to most MMOs. So
yeah.
And it's not really my thing.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that last week. About the PvP changes and how, you know, they've got leagues now, and they've partnered with ESL so that their esports scene is going to be getting more attention. I think last night we went in to do guild missions in PvP, and we were surprised that there was a level cap now gating you, right, from going into Conquest. So they're like forcing people to go into Stronghold first, which I found interesting as a way to make sure people see their new content first.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
So I know Joe has a particular issue with this.
Go on, Joe.
Well,
go for it?
The thing is, Conquest is what was introduced originally, and why would you then just gate it behind a rank after you release an expansion? It makes no sense. It'd be like saying, hey, you can't do all of the old dungeons until you do the new dungeons, if there were any. And
right.
it makes no sense. Like, at least from my point of view, it's just one of the things I've kind of picked up on is that they're trying to force people to play all of their content and explore everything in the game. And I mean, yeah, okay, it's cool. You get to see everything, but sometimes you just want to do your own thing, or you want to progress with your story, but you can't because you got to unlock something.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to PvP, you want to play Conquest, you can't. You got to play Stronghold, get your high rank.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It feels like they're just forcing you. Yeah, PJ Salt from the chat there.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's like, who's not there for Guild Wars 2 PvP, you just want to do it occasionally. Getting to level like rank 10 isn't a trivial task.
Right.
Like I've been playing for 3 years and I do PvP occasionally, and I'm only 23.
Right.
So
yeah, so they did. I mean,
it's like
Sherdil is asking, did they
if you
gate
want to play
unranked?
Conquest.
Sorry, I was just going to say that Sherdil asked in chat, did they gate unranked Conquest? And yes, they did. That's what we were going into last night, was unranked.
Yeah.
So it's level 10, or rank 10 before you can unlock Conquest.
Yes.
So
yeah,
it was interesting to see.
So it's interesting because so they're trying to turn Guild Wars 2 into somewhat of an esport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that works because a lot of people who watch esports then want to go and do it themselves. Like, so and the Guild Wars 2 esport is the Conquest game mode, right? It's not Stronghold, it's not Courtyard Deathmatch, it is Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching, the top Conquest teams playing when the official season starts, and you think, oh yeah, I could get into that, and then you're gated behind having to play Stronghold until you're rank 10. That's just going to completely kill your passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't PvP much at all. What am I, rank 9.5? So we couldn't go into Conquest. I mean, I was one of the reasons why we couldn't go in. And I knew about Stronghold from seeing all of the things that had been released about it, from talking to some of my friends who'd played in it, and they were all excited. Oh yeah, Stronghold, it's so much fun. I went in and I was so bored. And I was like, okay, well, I had more fun in Conquest and I'm not a PvP player. So I don't know, it just feels like, why not just give them access to it? For that point of view, just players coming in, just to give them a choice, let them choose what they want to play. To Joe's point, from before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was really surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like it's a kind of progression system in PvP, because it's not. Like you just flat out do not get to play the game mode you want to play for no particular reason, because it's not like Conquest has suddenly become this super high tier where only the highest ELO players can play it game mode, because that's just rubbish. Like it's just a game mode. There's no reason to gate it behind. The thing that they should be gating is whether or not you can do a ranked version of that game mode.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be gating whether or not you can do an unranked version, because unranked means nothing.
Right.
It should just be there for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But similarly, like, why would you then? Let's say if it was just the ranked version of Conquest that was gated, and then they make you play Stronghold until you're rank 10 to be able to play Conquest. That you have no experience with Conquest then to then just jump straight into ranked. So it's like, I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
Because from the way I understand it, you can just jump straight into unranked or ranked Conquest from 10. Is that correct?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So like, people are going to have no experience in
any PvP
unranked Conquest.
players are probably...
Like, yeah, they just... Like, as soon as they finish the Stronghold level 10 grind, just like, boom, straight into ranked Conquest, and then I have no idea how it works.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a nightmare for all the tryhards and...
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I don't know. I was not... that really disappointed me, I guess. I'll just leave it at that. There was something else I wanted to say, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, it was this idea of gating things. We were talking about raiding, and how raids are going to require certain masteries. And with going back to what we were saying about with the hero challenges, that some of them require certain mastery levels in order to complete. They've also done this with some of the story steps that you have to level up to a certain rank in a mastery line before you can access that story. And this has caused a bit of displeasure amongst some people in the community, and
yes, it does.
because I know it's like everyone just wants it all now, but they're going to make a change to chapter 14, which was gated behind level 4 in the Itzel line. So let's
just stop right there and just reflect on level 4. Out of 5 mastery levels, a story step was gated behind the 4th level.
Right. But I think the idea was that it was jumping from 2 to 4 instead of 2 to 3.
Oh, was it?
I think that's what my
I know that
understanding
far in
is.
the story, so...
Yeah. But, I mean...
But, like, even... I don't even know if it was, like, the first or second. And, like, I had not unlocked gliding at the time. And I was like, oh, well, guess I gotta go and unlock gliding. But then that was one of the things that made me kind of be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and explore, and I'll just go and bask in the game more.
Yeah.
So, like I said, back to my point from before, like, I think they're kind of just forcing you to explore and just try everything out. Which, like, I have no problem with currently, but, I mean, if I got to that stage where I was gated behind a level 4, like the level 4 itself, I'd be fuming, mate. I would not be a happy bunny, I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, so Matthew Medina went and posted in the forums, and he said, we wanted to use mastery gating as a way to try and prepare you for the challenges ahead, the deeper into the Maguma that you went. But we realized that in this particular scenario, the chapter 14 one, it ended up not being the experience we wanted for all of you. And we wanted to correct it. So that's going to be going into the next build patch that goes out probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's so like level 1 and 2. I'm not against gating story steps with that, because for anyone who has like no idea what masteries even do,
right?
Like, it's a good way to at least show everyone has some, like, everyone can glide, everyone can use mushrooms.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good kind of baseline to go off to make sure people have access to like just core tools, right? But beyond that, you shouldn't gate, because it's up to players what you want to level up first. And if you have to go all the way to like level 4 Itzel, you're essentially forced into leveling up the Itzel track first if you want to get anywhere with the story, which I imagine a lot of people do, because it's one of the things you do first in expansion, right? You finish the story,
right?
So
yeah, I mean, in the old,
I agree with like first, maybe second level.
I mean, when the core game first came out, the old leveling system had recommended levels for you to try before trying the next story step. But I mean, if you were under leveled, you could still go in if you wanted to. You might get wrecked if you weren't good, but that was up to you if you wanted to do that. Now with the new MPE system, the new player experience, they've done this whole every 10 levels is when you unlock the next story chapter, and it seems like they're sort of carrying that idea over here, so I'm not particularly surprised to see it. I mean, and you also have to level up your masteries anyway, so I don't know. I think
the key thing is the order, because you're forced in a specific order to carry on the story.
Yeah.
And it's getting to like it's a lot of time.
Right.
It's not just the training, it's the fact you've got to get that number of mastery points as well. So I don't know how much of that you heard. I probably lagged out.
You did lag out a little bit, yeah, a little bit.
But, like,
your internet is beautiful.
Like, I don't think it's that bad with some things, because like if you get it behind like gliding or like the bouncing mushrooms, like those were kind of things I looked and I was like, I want to like unlock it. I actually want to do that. So
and like, as well, they help you get around on the maps.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
so
like
I
vital.
was really looking forward to the gliding, and I'm actually enjoying it like a lot, because I don't know, it's gliding, it's fun. And so yeah, like gating stuff behind that, where it's just content that you actually want to unlock and explore, like that's perfectly fine by all means with me at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
The further on stuff might not be so necessary.
It's good to see that they're actually like retracting it and changing things so quickly, rather than just going, oh well, that's the design decision we made, live with it.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good at least.
I think that's the positive thing to take away from this.
I mean, one of the criticisms that Guild Wars 2 got when it first came out was that it was too easy to blow through the story and too easy to level to 80. I mean, I don't know, it took me a while, but I took my time with it. But I think both of you leveled up quite quickly to 80 in the first
5 days.
5 days, yeah. See, that's not me at all. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so if they're wanting to like slow people down a bit, this would be a way to do it.
Yeah, but like I said before, like back in the day, that was my attitude: just get to level 80 as fast as I can, ignore all the story, and just explore the end game. But now it might like the way I'm approaching Heart of Thorns is completely different. So yeah. I mean, let's say I still had that attitude and I was just being gated and gated and gated behind all sorts. I would come on here absolutely furious, complaining about Heart of Thorns and saying it's frustrating and getting in the way. And
but the thing with the mastery system too, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Go on.
I was going to say that the thing with the mastery system too is that it is account wide. It's account bound. So once you level up that mastery, it's available to all of your characters. You're not going to have to regrind on any of your characters.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, like, once you've kind of done it and been through the whole grind, like, I don't mind grinding because it feels like you've earned whatever you're working towards by the end of it. But then after you've done it once, you never want to go back and do it again. Like, you just get to the end and you're like, thank God that's over with. Never have to do that again.
Yeah.
So, like, if you had to go on to a different character and do it all again, you just wouldn't really. So, imagine all the alcoholics out there were cheering when they heard that.
Oh, yes, I was. I was. I mean, that's the one thing that makes me super happy is that they did think about players like me who just have a million characters and yeah. But I mean,
many characters?
I don't know. A lot. not a million, but let's just say it's less than 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did we lose Rowan altogether now?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, there you are. Just quiet.
I'm just very aware that my internet's getting worse as this show continues.
Yeah. I know. I'm looking at our notes and what we have. We've covered so much already. Joe, you had mentioned earlier that you would wanted to talk about something that you were particularly upset about. So I think maybe now is a good time for that.
So basically, I've never been able to experience Halloween on Guild Wars because it released. God, was it late August, early September? That was the original Guild Wars 2 release. And after a month's worth of playing, I got just kind of worn out with it. I just got bored because I got to 80 within like 5 days, like I said. Just spammed dungeons so much, unlocked all the armor I wanted, and I was like, there's nothing for me to do. So I just had a break from the game. Missed Halloween, just didn't even consider it. Then came back to the game a few months later, and there's loads of cool stuff that wasn't there that I wish I had. And next year, missed it again. This year, Heart of Thorns is out. Don't get a chance to play it. So, like, I really wanted to explore the Halloween because I've heard it's like one of the best festivals on Guild Wars, but I didn't really get the chance because I'm going to be so occupied with Heart of Thorns.
Right.
So, like, I wish they either put like. So I was just going to say I wish they either put. I don't want to say put Heart of Thorns back because that'll make people angry, but at least they could have like changed the date of when Halloween starts and finishes. Just to.
I mean, they could have released it like next week or something. Go ahead. Rowan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, there's hardly anyone doing Halloween at the moment. Because if you've got Heart of Thorns, you are obviously in Heart of Thorns.
Yeah.
And so all that's left is free-to-play players and anyone who hasn't bought Heart of Thorns.
Yeah.
So, I imagine most free-to-play players who have just started playing recently, majority of them probably aren't 80 yet, unless you're like Joe and you get to 80 in 5 days. So you're probably not interested in Halloween. You're probably interested in getting to 80 because the mindset of a lot of new players playing the game is, got to grind to 80, then the game begins, which is completely wrong, and which is why Joe burnt out very quickly in Guild Wars 2. But
well, ArenaNet should have thought of me.
Yeah, I want to do Halloween because there's some cool new stuff this year, some new skins. Have you guys seen the new Halloween skins?
I've seen the new hammer with a pumpkin head.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
There's a helm with a karka, which is a karka that just sits on your face.
Yeah,
it doesn't look pleasant, but hey, it's funny.
There's
I love all the Halloween themed stuff, like the pumpkins and
yeah,
it's all funny. It looks like really cool if you like make a good outfit out of it.
Yeah, like the outfits last year, you could get an outfit by just playing in the labyrinth and earning the currency. And then you'd trade it in and you'd get the outfit, which was really cool, the hexed outfit.
But then I missed it, yeah.
I know. No, but I don't know if it's back this year because I haven't checked.
I haven't. Like, there's too much to do.
There's too much to do. I know,
Halloween.
like, after, 10 months of, like, us complaining, we don't have anything to do.
Yeah,
Heart of
they
Thorns
just
isn't
give
here
it to
yet.
you all at once.
I know, and now we're just like, there's too much to do. What do we do first?
Yeah.
Not Halloween.
And I mean, especially people like me, like for most of the week, I'm too busy with uni to even consider like playing games. I'm pretty sure like this next week, every night I'll be like, why am I not in Heart of Thorns right now with like deadlines for the whole week? So it's not like I have all the time in the world to be able to do Heart of Thorns and then go on to Halloween. I'm probably, in all likelihood, not even going to get to do any Halloween content this year because I'm not going to prioritize Halloween over Heart of Thorns. You'd be stupid to do that. Like, look at all the cool new maps and stuff there is to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're not going anywhere, but regardless, you just want to do it, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hype. It
is. It's that hype. You know, they've hyped us so much that we're just like, oh my god, we have to do this now. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, well, Halloween is temporary content, and it's gonna go away. Heart of Thorns isn't. It's here to stay. Wow, that rhymed.
Well done.
So, I know. Like, I want to go into the labyrinth, but I'm like, but I can be leveling a mastery line or something, or doing the next story step.
And you see the thing
there's something more important to do, like all the time.
The final nail in the coffin for this is that you can't level your core tier mastery lines in the labyrinth in Halloween, which they've said they're not fixing this year. Which is like the final nail, which is probably why a lot of people actually aren't in there. Because I imagine if you could level your core tier masteries, there's at least some reason to go there because it's one of the best like XP farms in the game.
It really is
the Halloween Labyrinth. It really is. I think it might even be the best.
And the enemies, the big bosses, the skeleton lich or whatever, they're mean.
Yeah,
they're fun to play against. I mean, you'll an entire Zerg can wipe, but it's just a lot of fun.
It's unfortunate that bug exists this year, I think, because I definitely think more people would be doing it. I don't know if I would, but it's at least a reason to, because it's like at the moment if you go into the labyrinth, you're there purely for Halloween stuff. You're not advancing your mastery line or anything any further. And I don't say I'm particularly convinced by the reason they gave for why they can't fix it this year. But I'll take their word for it. If they think trying to hot fix it now will break all Halloween events in the future, if that's the story they want to give, I'll accept it for now.
Right.
But I'm not convinced that it will break it for the entire future when they've then got a year to go back and work on it.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I think?
What?
I think they were like, hey, Tauz missed last 2 Halloweens. He said he's going to get Heart of Thorns. He's going to be coming back come October, so let's just screw him over one more year in a row, shall we? So, yeah. Thanks for ArenaNet.
Yeah.
Love you though, it's fine. So.
Yeah.
Just don't get it back.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it is a shame. I've seen people, and you pointed out, Rowan, that you were like, people are asking on Reddit, how do you do the Halloween things? And I'm like, I don't have time to write up a guide. I got Heart of Thorns to play.
Yeah.
But there is a guide out now that's up on Reddit right now.
Check it out.
Check it out. Do you have that linked in chat?
No, I don't.
All right, hang on.
Me trying to load up Reddit right now, which is a death sentence.
Yeah, never mind. I've got the link there. That's the link to the guide, and it's pretty useful. Just one guy just went through it, and he said, "This is what you could do to get through Halloween," and he just did it, and it's wonderful. So if you've got any new players, or you know of any new players, or you are a new player, check out that guide if you want to go do the Halloween stuff. And that's a nice little segue to our next, what we're doing next week, Rowan.
Yes. Yeah. So speaking of Halloween, so next week, so next Friday, well, this coming Friday, we are doing a special Halloween stream, provided my internet is fixed by then and everything's working. So there's still at 50-50 if it's actually happening or not, but let's assume that it is. So next Friday, 8 p.m. GMT, so the same time as the podcast is due to start, on twitch.tv/GuildMag, will be our special Halloween stream where I know Sandra will be there. I don't know who else will be. Joe will be there because I'll force him to be.
So I might just,
and if you saw last year's GuildMag Halloween podcast special, it'll be a lot like that. So we'll do Halloween games, events. We'll do challenges for whoever's on the stream with me. So last year, if you didn't see it, we had to. The viewers decided to make like a cocktail for each of us with like disgusting things in it, like because we're on Twitch, it can't be alcoholic, but we had things like soy sauce, pepper, tomato ketchup, like all sorts of disgusting stuff. And I tell you now, soy sauce and lemonade is the worst thing you can possibly put. So I'm not allowing soy sauce this year because it was and then we played various challenges in game, and whoever lost had to drink it.
Now if I remember correctly, you guys went into the clock tower jumping puzzle.
So we did the clock tower, we did costume brawl, I think we did some trivia as well. I can't quite remember. I think we got viewers to like come up with trivia questions, and if we couldn't answer it, we had to drink or something like that. We did a whole load of stuff. So yeah, we're just hopefully we'll have like a big team of GuildMag people behind it. And yeah, there should be some stuff for you guys to win as well, some in-game prizes that we'll give away. Don't know what yet because I literally had this idea this morning, so I haven't planned anything yet. But
we'll have it sorted out by Friday though.
But yeah, keep up with our social media, twitter.com/GuildMag and facebook.com/GuildMag, and we'll announce it well in advance. And then the usual podcast will be on Sundays as well. So it's not like, it won't be a podcast stream, it'll be a special stream that's like what we did last year with the podcast. Right. That we're not doing with the podcast this year.
Right. Yeah. Next Sunday we'll just have regular podcast. Hopefully with Rowan's internet that's actually working and will be better.
Yeah. Hopefully everything will be back to normal.
Yes. And next weekend, I know you guys in your EU, you went back to your regular non-summer times last night, and we here in the United States are also going to be going back to standard time at 2 a.m. on Saturday, Sunday morning. So podcast will be 8 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's where we'll be here at twitch.tv/GuildMag.
Hey, she got it right.
Hey, there you go. But yeah, I think this feels like a good place.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else that you want to say, or you just wanting to just go and say goodbye to our viewers and jump into Heart of Thorns now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye everyone.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.